Hello everyone and welcome to my humble kitchen. For today's menu, I'm very excited to work with Saucecraft by Ventura Foods and their sweet, spicy, and tangy Nashville hot sauce to give that umami flair to two bold and innovative dishes that I came up with. These incredible crispy shrimp atop some decadent cheesy grits, and since fried chicken of all sorts is getting some serious love nowadays, I also decided to whip up a cheeky Nashville popcorn chicken and waffles because it just sounded like the right thing to do with their Nashville hot sauce in mind. Now, Saucecraft has an extensive lineup of ready-to-use sauces that make recipe creation and execution super natural. Their diverse line of flavor-fusing sauces, such as this buffalo sauce that I used on a beautiful buffalo chicken BLT, sweet chili sauce that you can really put on anything, including these phyllo-wrapped shrimp, and some gorgeous cabbage veggie wraps that went perfectly with their gochujang sauce, are just a few examples of how creative you can really get with their lineup. Ultimately, I decided to focus on their Nashville hot sauce since that's a flavor profile I really just love to create with. And like I said earlier, these bold and innovative dishes can be enhanced for any menu, so get ready with your mise en place because the orders are definitely coming. But without further ado, let's dive into the recipes. First things first, when it comes to sauces like these, I'm a big fan of squeeze bottles, so fill that bad boy up. And now for the shrimp, I'm gonna be using 8/12 size because I just love the texture and flavor of jumbo sized shrimp. And I'm going to let them sort of marinate in a combo of buttermilk mixed with a generous drizzle of the Nashville hot sauce. Let those sit for about 20 minutes. After that, I'm going to crumble some stale bread that I toasted in the oven. That will be the breading for the shrimp. Panko crumbs will work. It's a great substitute, but I just always seem to have an endless amount of odds and ends bread loaves in the kitchen. Next, you're gonna crack an egg into a medium-sized mixing bowl and whisk in a drizzle of the Nashville hot sauce to keep layering that flavor into the shrimp in different stages. The red chili pepper, garlic, and brown sugar elements in the sauce are great for so many different applications, especially for a marinade like this. You start to realize it's just so much more than a finishing sauce. Set your breading station off to the side and heat up your water in a pan with a pinch of salt until it just starts to simmer, then add in your grits. Here I used a mix of white grits and yellow polenta for this recipe, but either or will work just fine. Let the grits thicken up a bit as you're stirring to prevent clumping, then add in the butter, cream, Parmesan cheese, and a fresh crack of white pepper. Continue stirring until the cornmeal is thoroughly cooked and has a more creamy mouthfeel than grainy. Add more cream or water when it starts to thicken up, and the final consistency should be pourable but not soupy. Get your fry oil up to about 400 degrees Fahrenheit, then start the breading process of the shrimp. First in the flour, then into the egg mixture, and finally the breadcrumbs. Fry the shrimp for about 3 to 4 minutes, then you're going to transfer them to a tray or bowl lined with paper towels and toss in some chopped thyme and rosemary. Just be careful to not add too much salt throughout this recipe since the sauce carries a really nice balance of salinity to each stage. Now that everything is ready to go, it's time to plate. So make a border ring around the plate with the Nashville hot sauce, then a few dollops of the cheesy grits right in the center. Make a little bowl in the grits with a hot ladle. Pour a little more sauce in the middle, garnish with a bit of parsley and lemon zest. After that, the crispy fried shrimp around the grits, and the Nashville crispy shrimp and grits is done. Utilizing this sauce appropriately through the recipe is very important, and highlighting its importance without overdoing it, because believe it or not, 73% of consumers are more likely to visit restaurants offering new flavors, and how those new flavors are incorporated into a given recipe can make or break the crave factor of it down the line. All right, so now it's time to whip up the popcorn chicken and waffles. So the first thing you want to get started for this is the waffle batter. So in a mixing bowl, you're going to add in the all-purpose flour, whole egg, baking soda, salt, maple syrup, and whole milk. Give this a good whisk until the batter is relatively smooth. Add in the melted butter and continue whisking until there's just a few lumps that still remain here and there. Let the batter rest while you work on the chicken. For the popcorn chicken, you're going to cut up a skinless chicken breast into a medium dice, then give it a gentle sort of smash with the back of a pan or a cleaver like this one I have in order to break up the hard edges of the dice. This also aids in the tenderness of the chicken after it's fried. Pour some buttermilk into a mixing bowl along with a good splash of the Saucecraft Nashville Hot sauce. Then add in the chopped chicken and give it a really good mix. Let this sit for about 15 minutes before you start the breading process, but letting it sit in the buttermilk overnight is ideal if you have that kind of time. Now that the waffle batter has rested, you're gonna ladle the batter into a preheated waffle iron and cook until golden brown on both sides. When the waffles are ready, transfer them to a wire rack and start breading up the chicken. Now you're gonna wanna make sure your fryer oil is at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Then for the breading process, you're gonna lightly shake or strain off some of the buttermilk marinade from the chicken. Then it goes into a bowl with all-purpose flour. Give the chicken a good rub down with the flour to develop little flakes on the surface, then start frying them in the canola oil for about 5 to 7 minutes until they are a solid golden brown. Once the chicken's all fried up and ready to go, add a few spoonfuls of the frying oil to a large mixing bowl that has a generous amount of the Nashville hot sauce in it. Then add the chicken to the bowl and give it a proper toss to glaze every little crack and crevice thoroughly. Now it's time to plate. All right, so the first thing to go down is, of course, the tender maple waffles, then the Nashville Hot glazed popcorn chicken, a nice little drizzling of the Nashville hot sauce right over the top of that, just to give it even more representation in the dish, a proper pour of reduced hot maple syrup over the top, and a nice little aromatic sprig of thyme to kick off the senses when it hits the table. And that's it. I have to admit, this sauce was so easy to work with in so many different ways. It highlights the fact that Saucecraft sauces are crafted by leading experts. Their team has been making sauce for more than 3 decades, especially to innovate and excite in food service scenarios, and it really shines with dishes like this. Honestly, so much fun whipping up these recipes. This beautiful shrimp and grits with the Nashville hot sauce by Saucecraft. And then of course, this absolutely dream of a dish, which is popcorn chicken and waffles. Got that spicy flair, lots of beautiful elements of the brown sugar, cayenne pepper, a little bit of sourness with the vinegar from that Nashville hot sauce. This is definitely a star sauce to use in any kitchen, whether it's at a restaurant or at your home. Lots of beautiful ways to utilize this, and these are just 2 perfect examples. I'm gonna dive in and tell you guys how these dishes taste. First up will be the shrimp and grits. So I don't even know if I'm gonna use utensils, almost more like a hand, like a finger dish, you know. The grits are almost like a sauce mixed in with that Nashville hot sauce. Looks amazing. We got this beautiful creamy grits, nice little kick of heat from the sauce. The shrimp is just, you know, beautifully crispy and really tender on the inside. I used to make this dish with a beautiful spiced ham, and it went so well with this. When I thought of the Nashville hot sauce right away, you know, the restaurant I used to make it at, this flavor, there's a little bit of smokiness, a little sweet, it has elements of you know, pepper in it, reminded me of that spiced ham, and just went so well with this. Plus, it's a beautiful touch with the sauce, drizzle it around right in the middle. Lots of fun ways to plate this up, and a little bit of green is always nice, almost like a gremolata with the lemon zest and the parsley. You can even use like mosh or watercress. Those are beautiful green accompaniments for this. That is, like, saying that's a winner is a major understatement. I mean, I definitely, for an appetizer, just a beautiful dish. So, all right, now I'm gonna taste the Nashville Hot popcorn chicken and waffles. I mean, if this doesn't get you like craving chicken and waffles, I honestly don't know what will. The Nashville sweet glaze with a little bit of that fry oil, very traditional with Nashville chicken. And the waffle, I mean, look at that waffle. So tender and just ready to be devoured. Okay, let's see how it tastes. This is one of the dishes that like sticks with you for the whole week, and you're just like, when can I go back and order, like, you know, take my family and show them this dish. I love chicken and waffles, making it almost bite-sized and just a little bit easier to eat, and even more surface area for the breading is just such a win in my book. What's cool about this is you could almost even make like small little fry baskets, cut the waffles up and stick them up like fries, have a little fry basket full of the glazed Nashville Hot chicken. And it's just, there's so many different ways to present this. The lineup from Saucecraft, it's almost like an extra hand in the kitchen. You don't have to worry about inconsistencies. Very, very good to know that you can always rely on that quality of flavor. And these dishes are like such a prime example of that. When I think of this, it's like vinaigrettes, dressings, sauces, aiolis, marinades. You can really just keep going down the list. And of course, they have loads of other beautiful sauces like the gochujang. Like, this is such a fantastic sauce for like almost like a cabbage wrap, like you saw in the beginning of the video. Sweet chili, really good with fried shrimp, almost even like coconut shrimp. The garlic parmesan, wonderful for pastas, like Alfredo-like dishes that you can really have fun with. Even breadsticks would be wonderful with that. And of course, you know, buffalo sauce, you could imagine. Just, you could even use buffalo sauce for a dish like this. You know, buffalo popcorn chicken with waffles is like definitely another winner. The teriyaki sauce has a really good consistency, not super, super thick or sweet, has lots of different umami flavors. And of course, you can go crazy with like satays, different grilled chicken teriyaki salads, even on different sandwiches like a banh mi. Beautiful way to use this lineup. I want to thank Ventura Foods and their lineup from Saucecraft. They allowed me so much creative freedom to have fun with it. You could clearly see these are definitely from my heart, and I love cooking this way. This translates so easily to the home, but it's so geared for restaurant pickups that it's just, they're very easy dishes to pick up in a restaurant, especially if the fryer going. And this is, I think this is like a one pan pickup. This does no pan pickup because it's being fried and you have your waffle set up, your waffle station ready to go. So lots of fun ways to think of these sauces. Like I said, they're just like an extra hand in the kitchen that you can absolutely rely on every single day of your life. So like I said, again, thank you to Ventura Foods and the Saucecraft lineup. Had a lot of fun working with it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my recipes and my take on the Nashville hot sauce. Obviously, of course, make sure you check out Ventura Foods and their Saucecraft lineup, the website. The link will be down below in the description box. You'll have a lot more information on all the sauces and maybe even more different ways to use them outside of myself, and you guys will have a lot of fun with it. I hope you guys have a fun, creative way using it yourself and enjoy whipping up some fantastic dishes. Later, guys.